alleged torture of Nnamdi Kanu by Buhari government accuses Nigeria of ignoring concerns on IPOB leader. Welcome to today's news. Now the news in details. The United Nations has stated that it is alarmed by the refusal of the Nigerian government to respond to its concerns on the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, and the designation of the group as a terrorist group by the Muhammadu Buhari government. A UN document dated August 26, 2021, obtained by Sahara reporters, stated thus wherein the UN made urgent appeals to the Nigerian government on Nnamdi Kanu. In the document obtained by Sahara reporters, the UN said, in this connection, we would like to bring to the attention of Your Excellency's government in information we have received concerning allegations of enforced disappearance, arbitrary detention, torture, and ill-treatment of Mr. Nnamdi Kanu by Kenyan security officials, as well as his illegal retention to Nigeria to face trial for terrorism related charges which are believed to be linked to his leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra group. Since his redemption to Nigeria, Mr. Kanu has been allegedly detained by the Department of State Services (DSS) and denied family visits, confidential access to a lawyer, and necessary medical treatment of his underlying health condition. Special procedures mandate holders have previously raised concerns from the proscription of the IPOB as a terrorist organization in accordance with the Terrorism Act as amended in 2013 in their communication reference ALNGA 5/2020. Furthermore, concerns regarding discrimination and violence against members of the Igbo minority were also expressed in their communication referenced UANGA 4/2017. We regret the lack of responses from Your Excellency's government to either communication. The case of Mr. Kanu was previously transmitted by the Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearances to the government of Nigeria and clarified in 2017. According to the information received, Mr. Nwakenye Nnamdi Ngozi Okwu Kanu, born on 25th September 1967, is a dual Nigerian and British national residing in London. He is the founder and the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra Group, an organization established in 2012 with the objections to secede the 5 states in southeast Nigeria from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where the Igbo minority are a numerical majority through a regional referendum, and to re-establish an independent sovereign state of Biafra. Between 2015 and 2017, Mr. Kanu has been detained on charges including treasonable felony, conspiracy to commit treasonable felony, illegal importation of radio transmitter, and defamation of the President of Nigeria. During his detention, he was allegedly subjected to torture and ill treatment by officials from the Department of State Services in Nigeria. After being granted bail on health grounds, Mr. Kanu fled the country fearing for his life and the life of his family and made a military raid of his house on 14 September 2017, which killed and injured dozens of people. In May 2021, Mr. Kanu traveled to Nairobi, Kenya. On 19 June 2021, he went to pick up a friend from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and was allegedly abducted. For the next 10 days, Mr. Kanu's fate and whereabouts were unknown. It was later reported that during his enforced disappearance, Mr. Kanu has been arrested at the airport's parking lot by a group of armed men in uniform believed to be Kenyan officials without warrant or judicial order, who handcuffed and blindfolded him and pushed him into a vehicle. He was then taken to a private house where he was detained for 8 days and allegedly subjected to torture and ill treatment. During this period, Mr. Kanu was chained to the floor at all times, regularly beaten with a cloth over his mouth to prevent him from screaming, taunted, and called a terrorist Jew Biafran, denied access to bath and toilet facilities, requiring him to urinate and defecate where he was chained and was fed bread and water once a day. After 8 days of arbitrary detention in Kenya, Mr. Kanu was driven in the tarmac of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, handed over to Nigerian security officials without any form of extradition or judicial process, and taken aboard a private jet to Abuja, Nigeria. On 29 June 2021, Mr. Kanu appeared before the Nigerian Federal High Court in Abuja in handcuffs and leg restraints, and was arraigned without access to legal representation based on previous charges brought to him in 2015. Since his arrival to Nigeria, Mr. Kanu has been detained in solitary confinement at the DSS detention facility in Abuja and denied visits from his family. On 1 July 2021, the British High Commissioner in Nigeria requested information from the Attorney General regarding the circumstances of Mr. Kanu's arrest and transfer from Kenya to Nigeria and consular access. Both requests were rejected or left unanswered, the UN lamented. Further expressing deep concerns, the UN said, "While we do not wish to prejudice the accuracy of those allegations, we would like to express our concern in relation to the enforced disappearance of Mr. Kanu from 19 June 2021 until his reappearance at Nigerian Federal High Court in Abuja on 29 June 2021 and his reported illegal retention from Nairobi to Abuja without judicial process. We are further alarmed by the alleged torture and ill-treatment Mr. Kanu has been subjected during his detention by the DSS in Nigeria. If confirmed, this allegation would constitute prima facie violations of fundamental human rights, including the right not to be arbitrarily deprived of liberty and the absolute and non-derogable prohibition of torture and other ill treatment under the International Covenant on Political and Civil Rights, and the Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman or Degrading Treatment or Punishment ratified by Nigeria on 29 July 1993 and 28 June 2021 respectively. Moreover, the Committee Against Torture and the UN Human Rights Committee have repeatedly concluded that enforced disappearances may amount to torture and other forms of ill treatment, both with regard to the disappeared and with regard to their family members, due to the anguish and uncertainty concerning the fate and whereabouts of loved ones. We are also deeply concerned about the alleged denial of fundamental safeguards, including regular and confidential access to legal counsel, contact with his family, and with British consular services. In his connection, we would like to remind Your Excellency's government of Mr. Kanu's right to a fair trial, respecting the principles of due process and procedural safeguards as codified in Articles 9, 10, and 14 of the ICCPR. These concerns are compounded by Mr. Kanu's health condition and the alleged lack of access to adequate medical treatment while he has been detained under detention conditions at the DSS detention facility. These allegations, if confirmed, would constitute a violation of the right to health established in Article 12 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, and the UN Standard Minimum Rules of the Treatment of Prisoners and the Basic Principles of the Treatment of Prisoners, which foresee the prisoners who have underlying health issues have the right to immediate and unrestricted access to necessary medications, including in cases of urgent medical emergencies, and should have access to health services available in the country without discrimination. Sahara Reporters had earlier reported at the UN said in its urgent appeals that the Nigerian and the Kenyan government should furnish it with details of how Kanu was arrested and illegally brought to Nigeria. In a release sent to Sahara Reporters, Nnamdi Kanu's brother Kingsley Kanu had also said he working with the lawyers undertook the interventions to the United Nations, which required the details to be kept confidential for 60 days.